Alright guys, so we have been busy right now on Fiverr, texting people and outreaching for the social media outreach for the agency. And we managed to get one meeting booked today with Juan. So that meeting is gonna be, I think he said like next week, or it might be like this week, later on this week, uh, 6 p.m. So what I'm gonna do afterwards, after this, is prepare a sort of meeting plan as to what we're gonna say, how we're gonna convert, and basically the key thing that I want to implement into these meetings is to not be salesy, because one of the main things that I see are people trying to sell on meetings. They're trying to sell the prospect, but what they don't understand is that you need to provide value in order for someone to want to be of your service. And if your prospect doesn't need your service, no matter how hard you sell them, no matter what problems you try to create for them, they're not going to buy your product. And so I think the best approach, how we're going to approach this, is by first understanding what is our prospect doing, because we're just cold outreaching. We don't know exactly how their business is going. We don't know exactly how everything is going, how much hours they spend, how many employees they have, what their budget is. So we have to understand what it is that they kind of need in the first place, and then we can determine, okay, can our service actually help them? Because for our business, we don't want it to be a business where we just help anyone. We need to help people who actually need it. So what we're basically going to focus on is we're going to ask questions during the meeting, ask a ton of questions. The prospect is going to be the one that's going to be talking the most. We're going to be the ones listening. And then we're going to ask them, for example, like, so do you feel like our service is something that you might need? Or we could approach it like, hey, so we don't want to sell you on something you don't need. And then we're going to tell them what we do. And then they could correlate themselves. They could be in their mind, okay, do I need this product or not? Because if you tell them that they need the product, they're probably not going to buy it. They're just going to think, oh, this guy's trying to sell me something. So that is the plan. That is the type of approach we're going to use when we're in these meetings. And genuinely, I don't want to work with a prospect or a client that doesn't need the service, because what's the point of the service in the first place? Yes, we get the money, but like the point is so we can help people out. That's the point of the business, is to obtain clients and keep clients. That's how we build testimonials. So I'd rather take some time and grab a client that actually needs the service, which we can see that people do need the service. They just don't realize it yet, because this is something relatively new. An AI social media marketing agency, I think it's been around for a year or two. It's relatively new. And this concept of being able to automate everything using AI is also very new. And so our job in the meeting is mainly just to show people that, okay, this is what we do. And whether you need it or not, we're going to provide you this value in this meeting. We're going to tell you exactly how we're going to approach this if you feel like you do need this product. And if they don't need it, then that's totally fine, because not everyone is going to need your service. So yeah, because when we're outreaching to a general group of people, not specific people. We don't have optimization that can determine very, very specific results. And so we're targeting a group of people, and so it's normal that some people might not need your service. And yeah, so I have a meeting with Madeline. She is a solopreneur. She's doing tax. And so tax stuff, I have a meeting with her by myself next Monday at 10:30. And what I'm basically going to see, because I really do think that she might need this service, because she, again, is a solopreneur. She's doing everything by herself. She told me that she has enough clients and she doesn't have any time to do anything. And she also told me that she tried social media before and it didn't really work. So those are two pain points I think I should address, because I think it could really bring her a lot of value. The first thing is she does not have any time to get new leads, to get more people, because she's working by herself, which is, first of all, respect to her for doing that by herself. Running a business on your own is crazy, and it's admirable. But It's crazy a lot of work, and I understand where she's coming from. So what our product basically does is it ensures that through social media marketing, we can find her better leads that are maybe worth more of her time. Building that database, building that brand so she can attract better clients. That is the first thing. The second thing is we will manage everything on our end. All she has to do is record the primary video. Everything else is AI automated, so she does not have to spend that time to do all that social media marketing like she did before. These are the 2 points I'm going to address. And I think it's important that she realizes the value we can bring to her. We're getting her better leads, we're building her a brand, and we're saving her time. These are the 3 points that we are going to be doing for her. And so if she still believes that she doesn't need the service, that's totally fine. But it is our job to bring this up to her so that she knows what she's missing out on. And that's the whole point of the first meeting. And so I don't expect to use all these sales tactics, all this stuff. I mean, door to door is fine, but really, like for this kind of stuff, they got to see the value in it. The prospect has to see the value in it. And only if they do see the value, then they might buy. And so I'm going to spend the rest of my time today basically focusing on getting the proper framework as to how the meeting is going to go, because the meeting with me and Madeline is going to be 5 minutes only. So I'm going to have to properly frame everything. The meeting with me and Juan and his prospect, which I'm going to find out later who it is, we're going to focus specifically on, again, the framework. And since it's a relatively longer meeting, we can ask more questions. Me and Juan can kind of go over how we're going to approach this and how we're going to essentially bring these pain points to the prospect if they have any. If they don't, we're probably not going to sell. We're just going to be like, hey, like, we don't want to sell you something that you don't need. So do you feel like you're in a position where you're willing to invest into your business, or do you feel like you're in a position where you feel like this might be of some value to you, right? And if it is a position where it is right to invest, but they don't want to spend money or they don't trust us, whatever, I mean, that's when we face the objections. That's normal objection handling. But deep inside, if they feel like this is something that is worth doing, it is our job to convince them like what they're kind of missing out on if they don't buy the service. So that's our entire job. All we have to do is try to list out basically what we're going to do to help them with their business. And if they see value in that, then they're going to invest. If they don't see value in that, they're not going to invest. It's really simple.